know, I had to find an extended edition of that song because, well, I love it so much. Welcome. This is Rudy Reyes on the Rude Dog Show. Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to be back. I can tell you that much. I'm Rudy Reyes. I'm your host. Good afternoon. Look, I know that's getting closer to the draft. And I know everybody wants to fill out their bracket, and that's great, and who's going to win it all, and we're going to talk about that on another show. This is not a bracketology show, so forget about it. Or, as they say in New York, forget about it. I don't know if that works out or not, but hey, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you download the app. It is on Google and on iTunes, so make sure that you download the app to check out the Rude Dog Show now. Right now. Download. It's free. If it's free, it's for me. It's free. So look, I have two very dynamic players from the very same school. It's not too odd and out of the sorts in order to have these guys on the show. However, one will be in 30, the other one will be in the second half of the show. We'll run through the commercials and we'll go from there. So that's the layout of the land here on the Rude Dog Show. What says a lot is what coaches say about their own players. A lot of players, more times than not, will find themselves in a real solid position to get into an NFL roster. If you're talking about possibly a roster spot, maybe. Rookie minicamp, well, maybe. But look, it's not really unheard of as many NFL draft selections from colleges like FAU, Jackson State University, and the like. A lot of reasons why scouts don't go to these schools because they believe it's too small. Even a Division II school that doesn't have a lot of skill finds themselves in a very slim but none situation where 20% of guys who enter from Division II don't find themselves in the NFL draft. But look at the small Division I schools like the Florida Atlantic Owls. You're thinking to yourself, what is that? Where is that? That is, it's in a very small conference in the NCAA. But look, when you're talking about what's in the NFL right now in a school that will grab most players, and let's look back at 2016 and the draftees. Defensive lineman Brandon Bryant signed with the Seahawks. Quarterback LeBlanc signed with the New England Patriots. Wide receiver Jensen Stoshak signed by the Carolina Panthers. And defensive tackle Trevin Coley headed to the Baltimore Ravens, and defensive back Sherrod Neesman found a home with the Atlanta Falcons. So, look, FAU has a ton of talent despite what scouts look for, despite where scouts go. General managers come to the rule. And when I say the rule, this guy is on a very huge roll. And I'm talking about Denzel Whitfield. This guy is a solid defensive talent who enters the 2017 NFL Draft being very sought after right now. He is a senior, 6'5", 280. And when you talk about a guy that you can ponder, and you could probably put him in a 3 words or less sentence, it doesn't quite explain what his capability is and, well, what he means as an individual, not only to an NFL roster upcoming in the 2017 NFL Draft, but what he can do off the field. And a lot of things can describe someone, and of course, or even something. You can talk about nouns. This isn't the Schoolhouse Rock, but my next guest, he's seen improvement in his game, but he finds himself and describes himself as determined, coachable, which all NFL teams will certainly look for, and possesses a willingness to surpass the greatest of obstacles as he head into a very rich and deep defensive 2017 NFL Draft. Denzel Whitfield, defensive lineman out of FAU. Like I said, 286'5". This guy is explosive. He's fast. He's got a great swim move. We'll talk about all that. Welcome to the show, Denzel. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Man of very few words. Welcome to the show. How are you? How are things going on in your neck of the woods?
It's going pretty good out here. Enjoying the process, working hard, getting better.
Okay, well, you're certainly on it. Less than 50 days to the NFL Draft. And when we talk about determination, coachable, and the willingness to strive to do your absolute best, these 3 words can be used to describe Denzel. I really believe that those 3 words can define someone. But only on the interim, only in a very short span of time will those words be applicable to him. Now let's look at this. Everyone's path to success is different, and that's what makes accomplishing a challenge so special. That's my belief. That's what I feel. And at times, you continue to remind yourself that there are a lot of young guys that would love to be in your shoes. When I read that, that was like an opening statement from you. Tell me about that particular statement, and why do you believe younger men, and whatever message you have for them would also be beneficial to help them understand that if you can do it, they can do it?
Well, first off, I think about a lot of guys that I went to school with that I know was blessed with the greatest athletic ability, but they didn't have the opportunity to go on and play college football due to academic failure. They didn't have the grades, they didn't qualify. And I just think about knowing that seeing them today, they still wish they had a chance to play. So with that being said, I say to a lot of younger guys that you just focus on getting your grades correct. The athletic part will take care of itself. You will be blessed with opportunity, because nowadays you can play football. There's so many different ways, whether it's Division I, Division II, there's so many ways to go and make a name for yourself. I think once you just focus on the academic success, the athletic success will follow.
I completely agree with you. A lot of Division I talent would also probably agree with you as well, and everybody out there. Look, tune in. This is a Rude Dog Show with Denzel Whitfield. This guy is a beast and waiting to be called by an NFL team, and I believe he will. He's got the talent. He has a mindset and skill set to make an impact on any given NFL roster. That's what I've seen. That's what I've read about, and drafted into the NFL. What does that really mean to you?
I would say it means a lot. Just me in general, coming from a very small area. I'm from Monticello, Florida. It's right outside of Tallahassee. Very small, poor district. It means a lot for my community to show and give hope and encourage a lot of the younger men that if you actually take this process seriously and give everything you got, you're going to have a chance. There's an opportunity out there for you. So that's what I would say it really means to me.
So everybody needs to have a level of seriousness, and you seem like a very serious fellow, and I'm talking outside of football, but that's applicable to how you've been able to perform and excel in this last year. How does your current success apply to the challenges that await you in the NFL?
With success, to get to success, you have to go through adversity. With college football, there's going to be times in the game where you may deal with a flag that maybe you feel you shouldn't have got, or it may be a bad play, which you have to bounce back. You have to face the adversity and overcome it. And I think that what shows that follows into success with the NFL. Getting into the NFL is not going to be easy. There's going to be adversity. There's going to be a challenge. Everybody has their own different path. But to reach that success, you have to fight through that adversity. You got to get over that hump, get through that challenge. And that's pretty much how it correlates to me.
Well, when you think about, you said you were from a small area. So small area meaning small area, and there are more kids with the same amount of opportunity, but they didn't take advantage of what was around them, what was there to benefit them. You did. What was it like to understand that you had the ability, because you had taken the opportunity, you worked on your athletic skill set, you worked on your academic skill set as well? Why do you believe you were more prepared for the opportunity at FAU than anybody else entering the college curriculum?
I felt like I had determination. There came a point, I started playing football, organized football when I was in 6th grade. There came a point in 7th grade where I almost gave it up. But I told myself I would not give it up. And that carried me a long way throughout my career. Once I learned not to accept quitting, I began to excel. I feel like you have to develop the mindset that no matter what, you're not going to give up. You're not going to lose. You're not going to let up at all. And I think that would really carry me a long way. Just having that mindset that I'm not going to let anything push me away from where I want to be.
So then, where do you want to be? Because as I see it right now, you certainly lined yourself up for success, not only from an academic and athletic standpoint, but from a personal standpoint that makes you a solid element element in an NFL locker room?
I want to be the guy that everyone knows is going to give everything in whatever I do in life. Whatever I put my mind forth, I want to be able to give 100% in that. I want to be that guy that everyone also understand that can relate to. Good representation of who I am as a player in everybody's mind when they come across my name.
I can tell you this much. The end all is not being drafted into the NFL. I mean, everybody believes that once you're in the NFL, you want to be a Hall of Famer and you want to do all these great things. And there's nothing wrong with any of those aspirations whatsoever. And when you have the ability to persevere, move forward, is the end all being drafted by the NFL, or is it what you do while you're in the NFL that will affect what you do when you exit the NFL?
I would say what you do in the NFL. Getting drafted is just the first step. You still have things you have to prove. You still have people you have to beat out. You have to be able to show your worth. I feel like you can never be complacent, and you have to humble yourself and continue to find improvements in your game that can help you get better. And I believe if you do that, your career and who you are as a player will take care of itself.
I agree wholeheartedly. Look, when you put yourself, your passion, your desire and drive into anything that you do, anything, it doesn't matter what it is, you find out that the results are worth the wait. The results are worth the sweat, blood, and tears that it took for you to get to that next point. And yes, you're right. When you enter the NFL, it's certainly what you do, not only on the field, but off the field. I've spoken to a lot of guys throughout my years doing this, and the message stays the same. It's don't become complacent, always working hard. Speaking of which, of working hard, you want to talk about a guy who's continually working hard. That is James Harrison, as an example of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The guy is a beast, working out now, today. As a matter of fact, I believe he's in Arizona. When you think of what it takes to work hard, give me your definition, and how does that apply to getting on an NFL roster and staying there?
To work hard, you have to really dig down into your mind and convince yourself that enough is not never enough. No matter how far you come or what you achieve, you always can do more. When you're repping out on the bench, you got to convince yourself you can get one more rep. When you're running, you got to convince yourself you can do one more sprint. I feel like never being satisfied is going to always allow you to get better. It's going to allow you to push yourself for more. It's going to allow yourself to be hungry and want more.
And you want more. You definitely want more.
Sure.
What reminders do you have surrounding you that have been the most productive aspects to you, whether it's emotionally or mentally, as you move forward in this process?
I would say mentally, I remind myself of how far I've came and some of the things I had to go through to get us to where I am today. I think that kind of pushes me. That encourages me to get up and go do what I have to do. Also, my teammates. We had such a bond where we competed with each other, one another. All the time. But just seeing one of my fellow teammates go out and get better makes me want to go out and get better more than he is. Having that type of mindset mentally is really making me become better.
Well, I guess you have the attention of a lot of people, especially coaches. Look, coaches, scouts, general managers, check out Denzel Whitfield. This guy is an absolute beast. He's coachable. He's trainable. He wants to learn everything about what it takes to be an NFLer, as I like to call him. Of course, I like to make up my own words here on the Rude Dog Show, and that's okay. We all have words for different things. Denzel certainly does as well. But really, let's get down to the nuts and bolts of this, shall we? Because you had signed a Division I scholarship, and that's fantastic. Everybody, again, it's not the starting point, it's the ending point. For you, signing it was great. It was fantastic. Getting to an experience, a collegiate environment, becoming a student athlete, and that's fantastic. But contracts are only as relevant as the actions which is preceded by your desire to commit to it. just for clarification for those that don't know out there, when you signed a scholarship, made a commitment not only to your school, you're making a commitment to yourself, you're making a commitment to your alumni, and of course your family by default is there to support you. What do you consider to be your level of commitment when you balance academics and football while at FAU?
One thing I would say is remaining eligible. In order to remain eligible, you got to be able to do what you have to do in the class and off the field. You can't slack in either or. You got to be able to give 100% in both. I know you say, how can you give 100% in both? You got to do 50-50. Well, I don't believe that. I believe there's a way you can give 100% in the field and 100% off the field. Also, I would say that to balance both of them, you have to keep yourself disciplined. You got to remind yourself that this is stuff that you have, these are priorities, these are certain things that you need to take care of. And doing so, that will help you get to where you need to be.
I think you're headed in the right direction. Your mom certainly has given you a ton of great advice. And one of those is getting into being comfortable with who you are, understanding who you are. And I think that those are foundational aspects that parents, granted you have them, can certainly help put you in the right direction and get you and others to recognize what kind of person you are, where you've been, the journey that you face, the adversities, the things that you've been through. Those are what makes up an individual's character, in all fairness. When you think of success, production, if you will, because I believe success lies within production and what you do. And again, we're talking all-encompassing, inside of football, outside of football. Do you believe that those two intertwine? And if so, where and when do they meet?
I believe they do. I believe what you produce is part of success. I mean, sometimes you can have success but not be producing a lot. Well, we can change that up. Sometimes some of the things you produce are not easily seen to certain people, but you're actually producing a lot. And I feel like as long as you're producing, giving everything that you can, you're going to have success. So, I think today's world is hard. I feel like sometimes if we actually take a chance to evaluate the production all around, we can say that he was actually successful as a player.
I agree with you. When you were talking about success and how those intertwine, and where those intertwine, they intertwine when you understand that success and production are one and the same. And it takes time. It's not something that you recognize out of high school. There are very few exceptions to that rule. You could talk about the NBA, you could put whatever organized sport you want, or even an individual sport like golf. Yes, golf is a sport, ladies and gentlemen. But for lack of a better term, those intertwine when those two meet. And when you know they meet is when you know that you're at your best, doing your best, being able to excel and exceed past your own personal expectations. So when we talk about a road to improvement, as you stated, there's always room for improvement, and I completely agree with you. There's no doubt about it. When you think about the road to improvement, what are some of the, for lack of a better term, the clear path for you and the way to how to improve as NFL coaches and scouts are finishing up their combine visits for someone like yourself headed into the NFL?
What are some improvements for me, myself, or the players there?
All the above. Whatever applies to you. It's certainly the road to improvement.
Me for myself, some improvements that I can make on myself is the way I handle this process. I think I'm handling it well, but I feel like at times I tend to just focus on the way it's just getting better. I don't actually take advantage of the opportunity I'm blessed with, getting to meet people, getting my name out there, getting to go show what I can do, like, for example, at the NFL, using the combine. I think a lot of times I just tend to focus on just getting in and working and taking care of my business. I think that's probably something I can improve on.
Look, again, improvement is for everybody. And if you don't understand that there's no improvement needed, you are missing the boat and you will not become successful at any given level, because you have to understand the failures to know how to succeed. And every team goes through it. Every player goes through it. That's just the way that it is. Let's talk about your rawness. You exited college. High school, excuse me. You were very raw. You were very talented, but you were very raw. And raw talent can be a good thing and it can be not such a good thing. What types of roadblocks did you feel that were in your way to jump from the raw athletic skill standpoint to being a more refined player in your given position athletically?
At times I tend to just try to play fast, but I had to learn that you have to be disciplined. Like, for example, you're playing defensive end and you're keying the tackle and the tackle blocks down. Now you have to shuffle the squeeze to the guy. When I first entered college, I was more so just playing fast, not shuffle squeezing like I should. I wasn't getting tight to the hip with the tackle. I had to play discipline and then react fast. That's one of the things I had to teach myself.
And when you look at improvement, I think that you've improved immensely. You could talk about the backlog of years gone past or given games behind you and things of that nature. You certainly understood what you needed to do, how you needed to do it, and being coachable is one of those reasons why you're at where you're at right now, is because you recognize that you don't know it all, that it's not in your best interest to fight the system. And of course, frustration is a part of it, but when it's done, when it's told to you by a coach in a constructive manner, that enables you to understand where you're going wrong, where you have went wrong in the past, and understanding that will ultimately help you get to the next level, whether it's at FAU, whether it's with the Atlanta Falcons or any given NFL team. But those years are gone behind you. Now here you are facing a very huge, monumental task of not only understanding a whole set of processes you were accustomed to while at FAU, but the next level. And coachability has its upsides, and that's fantastic. But as coaches recognize your capabilities early on, what was it about the experience being coached up, exiting high school, that made you more ready to take on FAU collegiate experience?
In high school, one of my coaches I didn't have a true defensive line coach, but I had a coach that taught me work ethic and taught me how to give everything I got. I also had a coach that taught me how to remain humble and to always find wrinkles in the game that you're going to get better at. And I think that really helped me exiting high school as opposed to going to college. And preparing me for when I get to college to accept the coaching that's going to come to me. Some guys reject coaching because they feel that they know it all. Well, you don't know it all. There's reason they're coaches because there are things they know that we don't know. And I believe in taking everything that a coach tells me, any comment, I believe on taking it and finding a way to adjust it to my game and develop it, use it as compliments and use it as motivation to get better.
Again, always room for improvement. You recognize it. A lot of collegiate players don't. So you're on the right track. Look, if I contacted your coaches and I asked them, what do you think of Denzel, and do you believe that his skill set here will translate well into the NFL? What would they say?
They would say that I play hard, that I give everything I can. One of my coaches before every game, he used to always tell me he's not worried about me because he knows I'm going to play hard. They would say that I'm coachable. I sit down and actually try to learn the game, and I think that what makes me such a great player to deal with. I also say they would say that I'm determined. I want to get better. I'm going to come in and ask questions, Coach. What can I do to get better? What do you think I could have did better on this play? I'm going to try to figure out what I can do. I'm going to keep working my butt off to get to where I want to be.
And I believe you're going to get to where you want to be. Look, sometimes it's difficult. A lot of playing defensive tackle to playing defensive end, 4-3 scheme. All those positions are relatively similar in that they require different attributes to play those roles. You went from 270 in junior to 288 beginning of your senior season. I think you were willing to step up to the challenge and really slowly start because you were still learning the process in order to get to the next level. And you out of all people know certainly about various sacrifices, and you can suggest that ask anyone about their own individual sacrifices and maybe a laundry list from a student athlete perspective. But what types of sacrifices do you believe had to be made in order to be the player FAU needed, but where you could evolve and excel to the next level?
A sacrifice I've made from when, like I said, transition to D tackle. I felt that I was just about to have a breakout season at defensive end, and then I moved inside. And wow, you know, being a defensive end, some defensive ends don't like to play inside. You don't want to deal with a double team. But after getting inside and getting, you know, corrupted up with double teams, I actually started to enjoy playing inside. I actually found it fun, and I embraced it. I took it with a challenge, and I actually worked hard to be the best I could be. So that's one of the sacrifices I say I made. Another sacrifice I made is I began to stay away from certain teammates who wasn't on the same path as me. I wanted to win, and I wanted the team to be nothing but successful. I tried to encourage those teammates, and they wasn't willing to get on the train with me. And I began to just go ahead and lead and pull those who are willing to go along with me.
Well, that's really what it's about. You know, when you're talking about how to stay away from the negatives, how to find yourself trending to the positives, what mental mindset did you take on in order to prevent getting yourself involved in the things that weren't productive for you?
I would say just looking at where we were as a team. I knew where we could be better. There was times where we were losing games that were way too close. And I knew that we could compete with any other team in the country. That's just how I felt. And I believe that so strongly that I developed a mindset that I'm going to do everything I can do. And in doing so, I'm going to try to encourage my teammates to do everything that they can do so we can get the best we can every game. I have all 100% faith in my team. I believe in what we can do. I count on my players. I know everything they do. I've seen them do the same thing in practice. I know they can do it in the game. And just having that mindset made me as a player want to be an example, especially being senior. It made me want to be a leader and do everything I can so those who are under me will also see it and follow in my footsteps.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Look, becoming the example is different than setting the example. I think you've set the example very well, not only to any teammates that had looked up to you that were younger, maybe juniors, maybe sophomores at the senior level. What type of influence did you have that you were aware of that maybe somebody contributed to talking to you about how they looked up to you or how you were able to help them on the field?
I think just me being able to relate and get along with other now, and it really shocked me just to actually think about it before I left FAU that a lot of them guys really came to me and talked to me about, okay, what I need to do on this, or what do you think we can do as a team to get better? What do you think is our problem? What are we missing? Why are we one step away from winning? And I had to really think about it, like I really must be doing something right for these younger guys to be able to come and feel like they can talk to me about anything.
It's a comfort level. Not all players have the ability to communicate to younger players and to not think that they're above and beyond being able to talk to them when the need arises. Look, a teammate is a teammate regardless of what level they're in. If they need your help, you certainly find a way to get some humility and to stay that way as you move forward. And of course, an NFL locker room would love to have a guy such as yourself. Look, scouts, coaches, don't fall asleep at the wheel, especially if you're driving a semi-truck. Otherwise, you may find yourself in a very bad situation if you pass on Denzel, Whitfield. End of story. That's all there is to it. Look, humility and the ability to stay that way is key. To recognize continuing improvement takes patience and the ability to look through constructive criticism and applying it to yourself and your everyday situation. I see big things coming for you, moving forward in life, inside and outside of football, Denzel. So I wanted to thank you for your time today. I appreciate you coming on. I wish you the best in the NFL draft. Ladies and gentlemen, again, coaches, scouts, pay close attention to Denzel Whitfield out of FAU, who'll be lighting up and breaking up plays on an NFL field in 2017. So thank you, Denzel. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Thank you for this opportunity.
That's not a problem. If there's anything else I can do for you in the future, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to have you back onto the show once an NFL team selects you. How's that sound?
It sounds pretty good to me.
Especially when your name is called, right? That's really what it's about. When your name is called and you recognize that, oh, wait, hey, that's me. pick me, put me in, coach, or whatever narrative you want to use. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Denzel Whitfield on the Rude Dog Show. I got to take a quick commercial break. So, Denzel, thank you so much. I wish you the best. And like I said, if you need anything else, let me know.
Okay, thank you so much, too.
Not a problem. Appreciate it. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Denzel Whitfield, this guy is a beast. I love his attitude. I love his personality. His drive is bar none. Probably some of the best. Look, it doesn't matter if it's a small school, a large school. Everything is big here on the Rude Dog Show, including the commercials. So stay tuned for that. This is Rudy Reyes on the Rude Dog Show. Look, download the app. I have Alfred and Ansley coming onto the show after the commercial break. So this is Rudy Reyes on the Rude Dog Show at WBLZsports.com. I'll be right back.
This is the sheet. Gets me all revved up. My face is now red. My ears are just freaking boiling.
He's so raw. He's so raw. This guy hates it.
Yeah, he had 51 touchdowns. 49 total yards. Vision based in front of you. And reach down and grab a handful of insane goodness.
Give it to him. Kudos. I'm clapping like a golfer. Very good, Johnny. I'm proud of you.
Wow, you guys agree on something again? I'm very impressed. Have you ever had a bad week? You know, you walk outside, step in a puddle, like right when you walk outside, have you a puddle right inside there? Are you stand on the curb and somebody driving by and splashes water upon you? Or it's just raining on you, not anyone else?
I will tell you, before you go any further, I cannot hear Chad when he speaks.
Good. He'll listen to the sheet, man. I don't really know what we're doing.
Every Saturday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on WBLZ Sports.
Doug Pepper painting and pressure washing. He has over 30 years of painting experience. It's interior and exterior, commercial or residential. Doug Pepper covers it all. Is your house looking ugly? Call on Doug. Doug Pepper painting and pressure washing. 404-966-3361. Mention WBLZ Sports and get a special We've Got Balls discount. That's Doug Pepper painting and pressure washing. 404-966-3361.
Hello, everybody. This is Blake Cole, host of Off the Wall Baseball here on WBLZ Sports. If you love America's pastime, then join me every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern for the latest and greatest in the world of Major League Baseball.
Whether it be your industrial, commercial, or residential needs, Gen Service is the electrical contractor for you. The Gen Service team has the expertise, commitment, and educational years to help you solve your electrical concerns. They have you in their best interest with helpful suggestions to accommodate your every want. Give them a call no matter the size of the job at 740-438-7573. And mention WBLZ Sports, you will get a discount. That's Gen Service, 740-438-7173.
WBLZ Sports, we got sponsors and sponsorship balls.
Welcome back to the Rude Dog Show. This is Rudy Reyes. So download the app right now. It is free. Yes, free. I said free? Did I say free? Yes, I meant free. It's on Google. It is on iTunes. This is Rudy Reyes on the Rude Dog Show on WBLZsports.com. I have another special guest here. And lo and behold, guess what? He's on the Rude Dog Show. What do you know about that? That's great, isn't it? Isn't that just fantastic? What's more interesting about this is that my next guest needs more guys in the NFL who are just like him. Seriously. They need to find a way to clone this guy. He's got high character. I've mentioned before here on the show, the shifting and movement of players during the closing hours of free agency. And of course, there's a lot of business going on right now in the NFL, especially Dante Hightower is attending the Steelers right now. And as of right now, he has not left. So what does that say? I don't know, but I can tell you this much. I can think of a variety of reasons why logic behind being the need for even more guys like this, especially in the upcoming 2017 NFL draft, as he acquire, however, Marcus Wheaton from the Steelers, who was injured all season long last year with a shoulder injury. And you have to be able to adjust throughout the league. In this industry, you have to be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. My next guest will certainly get it. He will get his opportunity in the NFL. And again, from the same school, but this guy's cut from a similar cloth. FAU has a lot of different cloths out there, but the cloth that they use are the ones that players stand out to NFL teams nationwide. He's certainly no exception to that rule. He has class, character, and he has a conscience, not to mention consistency. Enter Alfred, Ansley, defensive back, Florida. Owls, hey, welcome.
How you doing, Mr. Rudy? How you doing?
I'm doing great, Alfred. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. You got me something. I'm good, man.
There you go. There you go. You got to put the cows back after a workout.
Yeah, you got to.
That's right. Got to put some in and not so much. So, look, welcome to the show. I appreciate having you on. Look, when you talk about things that actually define who you are, people say, you know what, maybe he doesn't have the fanciest of clothes. Maybe he's, over the top. Maybe there's just too much judgment about who you are and what you mean to this Florida Owl team. Of course, I had Denzel Whitfield on previously, and me and him discussed about character and content and how that plays a vital role in who we are as people. Do you believe that you're being judged unnecessarily? And if so, what type of judgment have you heard based on who you are, where you're headed, and how you're going to get into the NFL?
Basically, yes, absolutely. But not in a bad way. I've been judged in a good way. Hard worker, stand-up guy, good person, on and off the field, people judge me, they judge me as a hard worker, determined person. Never give up. He goes at it until he gets it. People, they never judge me in a bad way. It's always a positive way that people judge me, and even, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. If I'm helping somebody or just being out somebody who's getting to know me, I always been judged as a good character, stand-up guy, great personality, outgoing. Never been in a negative way. Always a positive way.
Well, then with all that positive reinforcement, do you think that it's maybe over the top? Do you think that your ego could be inflated because of the overabundance of positivity headed your direction? Or do you believe that you're able to modify that and take out the bits and pieces and the positive portions of it in order to help you become a better person as well as a better player, especially since in the NFL there's a lot of issues where guys think that they're above the law, that they can do whatever they want, they can get in trouble, but because of their name, they end up getting a slap on the wrist.
Oh, absolutely not, man. I never, nobody really never looked at myself above anybody. I always have a humble attitude, but I always have a humble attitude, and I believe my parents, they instilled that. So it doesn't matter what you do, or how big you go, or how famous you get, or how much money you make. I always remain with a humble attitude. I always stay respectful, respect everybody. And so I always had a humble attitude. How much success I had in my life,
or whatever I went through, I always remained to have a humble attitude.
Well, humility goes a long way, especially in the NFL. You've done a lot of great things while at FAU. And when I look at you as a person, and I look at your film, those two meet the rubber. I mean, they really come together in a very positive manner, enabling guys such as yourself to have an opportunity to get into the NFL. And when I look at all this and I put it all together, a very tight little niche, you're a very unique person, meaning that the types of things that you committed to while being the best player at FAU enabled you to be a very solid player and person to other people while in college. Give me a situation where you had ran into something that was an adversity that maybe had to do with another student, maybe another classmate, maybe another teammate, and how did you handle it?
Absolutely. I believe when I first came to FAU, I had the red shirt because I was transferring. And I had the red shirt and I had to sit out a year. I didn't want to sit out a year. It hurt me bad to sit out a year, but I told myself I'm going to help others along the way. You know, I'm not going to take the year for granted. I'm going to help my teammates out along the way. And by helping them prepare for the games, each and every game, you know what I'm saying, giving the best look I can. And I just, you know what I'm saying, took advantage of helping someone else out, you know, going through adversity, you know, letting them know everything's going to be all right. You know, kind of taking that big brother role at FAU. You know, guys in the locker room, they always looked at me as a big brother. Even though I was a freshman sometimes, they always looked at me as a big brother. They always come to when they have problems or, you know, or whatever the situation is, you know, I always help people out through going through my adversities.
You know what? It's kind of interesting you should mention that, because when you talk about what judgment gets passed towards people, whether it's positive judgment or negative judgment, you're able to reinforce who these people are and help give them the uplifting type of conversation that truly everybody needs to have when things aren't so well, when things aren't so good, when things don't seem like they're going in the right direction. You face a lot of obstacles, not only in your high school, but your collegiate career as well, which forced you throughout high school to be transferred 3 separate times. That's a lot. That's a huge mental and emotional undertaking. And I mean, I never moved around that much when I was a kid. Regardless of whether I was playing football or not, you certainly found a way to persevere through that. There was really not a lot of stability playing football because it's almost as if you're a vinyl record. Of course, you people out there know what a vinyl record is. Okay, no. I guess not. The vinyl record is you started over and over and over again, and your transition into college isn't exactly ideal. Give me a time through when you felt at your lowest, and what was your mindset then? What was the trigger to flip that around, to create stability for yourself as you headed into football in the following season?
Absolutely, man. It's been a long journey from high school, from switching schools to schools and having no stability. I just know it's just adversity. You know, I'm going to overcome adversity. You know, you're going to go through things throughout life to get to the better part of life. So you're going to go through things. That's just life. You know, it don't matter what it is. You know, I was always taught, you're going to overcome. You just got to keep digging, keep going, keep working hard, don't stop. You know, maybe it's not back 2 steps back, but keep taking steps forward. So throughout life, man, you're going to have adversity and trials, and I just thank my mother, because my mother, she helped me out a lot, man. She really motivated me and told me to keep my head up when times got hard. I really thank my mother, because my mother, she really helped me out through those hard times, you know. So it was not just me, it wasn't just me on the journey. It was really my mother, all my family, all my support that I have. Because during this sport or any sport or any life situation, you need support. You really do. It's not just me. It's not only my parents, but God. God helps through all the adversity.
support comes.
that I went through.
Exactly. So support comes in so many different fashions, Alfred. Sometimes we just have to shake our head and just move on and say, you know what, this isn't working. And it happened that way when you entered your first year at Savannah State. You awarded a full scholarship, which in a small school like that, those aren't given out very lightly. I mean, it's not that you can go to a restaurant and order on a menu. Things like that don't really come very often. And you were given a starting spot due to your hard work, your desire, your passion, your ethical demeanor, enabling you to be not only nominated for the All-MEAC, but you were very successful there. But that wasn't the end all. That was not the end all being at Savannah State. What did you want? What were you looking for as you exited Savannah State, but prior to entering Florida Atlantic University?
I was interested in Florida Atlantic University to play on a higher level. I wanted more exposure at a higher level, more better coaching, and not saying that Savannah State didn't have good coaching, but just to up my game in football, just stay on a high level. That was my main reason of transferring to FAU, just to stay on a high level, up the competition.
And that's really what it's about, it's exposure. Everybody needs more exposure. A small school like Savannah State University is not very big. It's actually quite small, but you wanted to go big, because at that point it was either go big or go home. And anyway, I have to do this. And sometimes you have to take the leap in order to get to the next level. Why did you decide to look? Your mom was your best friend. She did a lot of things for you. You've been there through thick and thin. What was it like going behind her to make this decision? And did she understand why you did it after?
Right. She understands. Once I broke it down to her and told her what I wanted out of football and what I needed, she understood. She understood that at the end of the day, when I made my decision, she was like, "Okay, well, whatever move you make, I'm behind you 100%." And she understood after I broke it down to her and let her know what I needed and what I want out of be transferred. She understood it, and she supported me 100% through this transition.
I completely agree with you. Look, and she understands what it was like for you, so I'm more than confident that she took that into conversation in regards to, well, because of all the instability, maybe this is a good move for him, and allowing you at that point to make a decision for yourself that ultimately put you where you're at now. Look, scouts, coaches, GMs, teams in the NFL, take a look at Alfred Ansley. This guy is explosive. He can sniff out plays. He's very athletic. He's a great guy. He's an asset to a locker room. Again, quality comes out of FAU. I know it's a small school, but you know what? Big things come in small packages, and that's Florida Atlantic University. Look, stability plays a role in everyday life. We can always look back at the obstacles we've endured and decided, let's just say, for example, 2 days ago, that you were a victim of your environment, or persevere through the tumultuous roads we ride on throughout our life. You had gone through a lot of various things, not all good and, not bad either. When you transferred, the stability was not only able to follow you, but you allowed that approval process to shine through as you were accepted at FAU. What was it about receiving a scholarship? And tell me about your first college environment while attending at Savannah State.
When I came on to Savannah State, they didn't know anything about me. I was referring to the coaches as a friend to the coaches, and they didn't know anything about me. And I tried out. They had to try it out. I accomplished the tryout. I actually blew it out the water, actually, and then it just started from there. It just took off from there. And after my first semester there, I was awarded a scholarship, and a starter actually. I was awarded a scholarship, and it was great because it felt good being that you have a goal to accomplish and you accomplish it, And it just took hard work and dedication, and just staying focused throughout the whole time, and just staying determined.
Well, that's really what it's about, to stay determined, staying focused, and certainly finding your drive to get to the next level. Look, you successfully received and awarded Scout Team Defensive MVP going into your senior year. You had a hard workout through camp. You were awarded that scholarship. You were invited to the All-Star Bowl in Daytona Beach, Florida. Of course, I'm sure that was fun. During the game, you were announced you were the starting free safety and captain of the national team. That is absolutely fantastic. But you redshirted in your first year. It was something that you knew could happen during your senior year, but you were not short on accolades. I mean, you received all those things. You were invited to participate. How did it feel to redshirt during your senior year, however?
Right. Yeah, it was tough, man. Because I redshirted the year I had my senior year. So I took that time to develop myself and learn the playbook that year I was redshirted. But that was my plan. I knew I had to sit out again when I transferred to FAU. So I just took advantage of it, learned the playbook, build that chemistry with my teammates, and I just took advantage of it to expand my game of knowing football. You know. I just took advantage of that redshirt year, my senior year. Yeah. I didn't take it lightly, not at all.
Well, to take it lightly would be a disservice. You had taken that to a whole nother level. As a matter of fact, because of your flexibility, NFL teams are looking at you, and if they're not, they're missing out. You received the designation as the starter in the All-Star game. What did that feel like? I mean, you'd never been named a starter. You redshirted, almost your entire time at FAU. How did that feel to you? And do you believe that it was the right call to be the starter in that All-Star game?
The first day that we had the All-Star game, we had practice or whatever, I went out there and showcased my skills. So my skill set on the field and in practice showcased that, hey, he's a starter. And my leadership showing to other guys, these guys from all around the country, the states coming from different schools, and me showing my leadership to the guys and showing them the playbook or anything extra help or giving them tips and pointers on all different types of areas. They made me as the captain of the national team, actually. So that aspect, it helped me out a lot, just by me building that leadership in me, and my skill aspect, they pronounced me as a starter on the national team.
That's fantastic. I know you shined in that game, and it's almost as if you had a journey. And if you could sum up one word, it's called validation. It's validation for you, validation in your mindset, and validation for those that you reported back to, inadvertently reported. I don't mean like you had to write a dossier or anything, but you reported back to your family saying, look, this is where I'm at right now. I just need for you to be my reinforcement as I head through the next level. That also helps with validation as well. But when one faces obstacles, situations, and challenges, sometimes battling through those can be difficult. And sometimes the resiliency that you show shows more than what somebody else may be running through otherwise, as an example. When someone learns about who they are, it starts at a young age and can continue as they enter adulthood. One can say that the ones who show them can be the biggest advocates in your life. Your mom's certainly someone who's not only believed in you, but supported you in the ways which lead you to feel that she is, in fact, your best friend. So kudos. Miss Ansley did a fantastic job. So if I had a hat, I'd tip it to you. I'd tip that to you. So Alfred, look, I wanted to thank you for joining me today to talk about your experiences life in football. I believe you're going to be an NFL star, and certainly you're aspiring to do just that. I believe an NFL roster would be where you belong, and I wish you the absolute best. I truly believe this, and I'm going to say this. It's open air, and this is what I do. This is a Rude Dog show. I believe you'll be a part of an NFL roster in 2017.
Absolutely. Appreciate it for having me. Really appreciate it.
Not a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, Alfred Ansley, this guy will be on an NFL field near you. Maybe on the same team Denzel Whitfield's on. I don't know. We're going to find out. We'll find out. No reason to put the cart before the horse here. We'll certainly find out. Thank you, Alfred. Hey, man, if there's anything I can do for you, let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you in any way, okay?
Absolutely. Appreciate it, Mr. Rudy.
Absolutely. Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Alfred. Take care. We'll see you later. Ladies and gentlemen, Alfred Ansley. Man, it doesn't happen very often that I have this kind of talent back-to-back here on the Rude Dog Show, but I'm sure glad I did, and I'm glad that everybody tuned in as well. Thank you for your listenership. Look, last to mention, my sponsors, check out SeretGumil.us, who's official vitamin sponsor of Starling Marte and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Of course, baseball is coming closer than you might imagine, as well as JohnMalecki.com. If you can think it, he can build it, JohnMalecki.com. And, of course, Anthony Gilbert, can't forget him, never least, could be last, but never least. Anthony Gilbert can change the way your mindset is as a player. If you're a Division II talent and you need a guy that can understand you, can sympathize and empathize with your situation, and someone to help get you into the NFL, Anthony Gilbert can certainly do just that for you. Go to new-game-plan.com. He does tweet every now and again, but yes, you can find him at Anthony Agent, the number 1 on Twitter. This episode of the Rude Dog Show will be posted on the Rude Dog Show probably within the hour. This is Rudy Reyes of the Rude Dog Show. Send me a like on my Facebook page. Shoot me a follow. Be a part of the show. 216-539-9967. I will see everybody tomorrow. Make sure you download the app so you can tune in on your mobile device on Google or iTunes. This is Rudy Reyes on the Rude Dog Show at WBLZSports.com.